Well, hello everyone. Merry Christmas. I repeat, Merry Christmas with the emphasis on Christ and Christmas. Merry Christmas. Please, my friends, do not fall for the lie and say Happy Holidays. That is the very least we can do as brothers and sisters of a Christian nation. Is the very least we can do for God is to do not say Happy Holidays. That is straight from the pit of hell, you guys. Merry Christmas. The emphasis on Christ. Right in front of you, you see a document that, well, quite frankly, it's not the only document that is out there. I mean, there's other documents more recent than this one, but this pretty much is proof of most everything that I'm telling you. I mean, just the fact that there is an entity that has a plan to overthrow America, okay? And that entity, it's really made up of various entities. It's an oligarchy, and I'm going to get into that in just a moment. But for right now, I'm going to read this to you. This is from the United Nations, okay? And it says United Nations Office for Disarmament Affairs, okay? August 5th, 2013, thus it is over 2 years ago. And believe me, there were plans well before that. It's called the Disarmament Commission Civilian Weapons Confiscation Study Group, New York, 29 through 31 July 2013. Okay, here it says, you can read it with me if you can see this on the screen. The issue of military-grade weaponry in the hands of civilians looms ever larger in the face of global implementation of 22 Agenda 21 by member nations. In particular, the United States of America has an estimated 500 million weapons in the hands of its civilian population. This is not just a static problem, it is a massive dynamic problem. For the process of confiscation, as there will be those who refuse to surrender their firearms. Did you get that, my friends? This is an official document. Did you get that? That tells us right there, that's much more than implied. That is a very overt, right in your face. They have a plan to confiscate firearms in America. Now, that is unconstitutional in America, according to the Second Amendment. So you wonder why. So what does this tell you? Okay, you have a Muslim terrorist in the office of president. It's one of the things, you guys, we have got to stop calling people what they are not, okay? We have to, in order to get to the right place of truth in America, we first have to call the people what they really are. Hussein Obama is not the president of the United States, okay? He was put in there illegally. He is not a naturalized born citizen of America. And in order to be president of the United States, you have to be a naturalized born citizen of America. That is the law, okay? Is the Constitution, all right? A naturalized born citizen of America means that both of his parents were born in America. And Barack Hussein Obama's parents were not born in America. His father was not born in America. He was born in Kenya. And that is a fact. And the fact that they told you it was an argument about the birth certificate for, that was like 2 or 3 years ago. That was a camouflage for the real problem that they were trying to mask, in which they did very well because nobody looked into it. The real problem is that he's not a naturalized born citizen. Therefore, according to the law, he is not supposed to be president of the United States. And so we, as citizens of America, true citizens of the Republic of America, have got to speak the truth. Do not call him president. He is not the president of the United States. He is the president of a foreign coup government that has taken over America. He is not an American. He is a Muslim terrorist, and you know that he is. He's bringing in 3,000 Muslim migrants in 2016. He just got a budget of some say 1.1 to 1.8 trillion dollars of your tax dollars to do that. He's taking your tax dollars and going to use those tax dollars to bring in your enemy so that they will kill you and bring civil unrest into America so that they can bring in more power of the police, more power, martial law type of situation in America. There's a Muslim threat, terrorist threat in America, and he's bringing in over 300,000 Muslim migrants. Now, okay, the fact that this same Muslim terrorist in the office of president is all behind taking our Second Amendment rights, you can see very clearly the connection of what he's doing. The agenda that he's promoting is directly connected to this agenda right here at the United Nations. I just read to you the first paragraph, okay? I'll continue to read this. The conclusion of discussions by the CWCSG led to the adoption of a proposed agenda to begin the process for introducing to member nations a framework by which they can begin confiscation of national laws to disarm civilians within their borders through a graduated process. Within the discussion framework, we have identified several problem areas that must be addressed. They are: 1. Classification of military-grade weapons to be made illegal for possession. 2. Creation of programs to provide reasonable compensation for voluntary surrender of said arms. 3. Codification of laws to begin the restricting and strict licensing of concealable firearms. 4. Codification of laws to begin the restricting and strict licensing of hunting-grade firearms. 5. Codification of laws to restrict the sale and possession of ammunition and components to manufacture ammunition. 6. Finally, codification of laws to completely make any and all firearms illegal to own. This is completely unconstitutional, my friends. Possess or use outside of military and law enforcement usage. That's called tyranny, my friends. It's right in front of your eyes, okay? There's no denying the truth here. Creation of a United Nations Police Task Force, a world government, in other words, with specific mission of assisting member nations with collection of weaponry from civilian hands. The CSG will submit its findings and final recommendations once we have created the codification framework for member nations for a full review by the Office of Secretary General. There you go. You think that what I'm telling you is a lie? There it is in writing. It's the United Nations official document, ACN.11/L.72. All right. So the connection between this evil group and the Muslim terrorists in the office of president is very clear. They both have the same agenda. Do you think this is what I've been telling you for so long? These people who created this United Nations are the same people who control our government. They are part of the coup behind our government, and they control the Muslim terrorists in the office of that coup government. Whether you know it or not, my friends, the Second Amendment is in the Constitution, and it's the right to bear arms. Okay, these people want to step on our Constitution. Now, what you need to consider is that Constitution was given to you and I through our ancestors' blood and guts. In other words, our ancestors sacrificed their lives so that we could have that Constitution. And that Constitution and Bill of Rights is what separates us from all the other countries in the world. It's what made America the light to the world, the free nation, the light that all the other countries look to. Unfortunately, these days, because we have a Muslim terrorist in the office of president, and because he is connected to these criminals who control our government, who are the real problem, the real root of the problem, which I've showed you numerous times, because of all of this, we are in a situation where we've lost most of our rights in America. And if we don't stand up, it's going to be too late, okay? Now, as I've shown you before, the people that we're talking about are, these are just some of them. Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Morgans, Soroses. Actually, if you really want to get technical about it, there's various families, but they are an oligarchy, okay? An oligarchy means ruled by more than one, okay? A monopoly is ruled by one, and this is ruled by various groups, or many, okay? And so in this oligarchy, there's various filthy rich families, and they're all vying for control of the world. They all want to be king of the world, okay? They all want to have a monopoly. They all want to be the one world order, the new world order, okay? And they want to be king of the world. And it goes back to our, before America was formed. Back then, all the countries in the world were, for the most part, monarchies. Okay, they were kingdoms. Okay, and these families go all the way back to those monarchy days, and these families still desire. They're so inbred and used to being king of the world that they still want to be king of the world. But in order to be king of the world, the one thing that all of them have to do is they need to get rid of America. They need to destroy America, and that's what you're seeing going on in your country. Because if you want to be king of the world, you first have to get the king that's presently king of the world, America. You need to get them to bow down. You need to destroy them so that they have no more strength or power. You need to destroy their middle class, the heart of America, so that you can once again be king. And that's what's going on, my friends. Okay, some of the families, Rockefeller families, Oppenheimer families, Goldsmith family, Makata family, Montefiore family, Sassoon family, Warburgs. Warburgs were part of creating the Federal Reserve System, the Communist Central Bank in America. Samuel family, Kadoorie family, Franklin family, Worms family, Stern family, Cohen family, Schiff family, Morgan family, Lazard family, big-time bankers. Schroeder family, Harriman family, big time. Royal family of England, Windsor. The Royal family of England, which America broke away is a huge part of this, my friends. This is not conspiracy. This is truth. And this is exactly what you need to learn if you're going to have a chance at getting your country back. This is the kind of stuff that you need to teach your neighbors. This is the kind of stuff that you need to be writing blogs about. This is the kind of stuff that you need to be telling your pastors and your priests so that they know what's going on. This is the kind of stuff that you have to become one with, that you have to have knowledge on. Okay? Because God's word says, my people perish from a lack of knowledge. And the reason he said that is because it's true. Okay? History will repeat itself if we do not know history. And the history of these people is a history of monarchies and kingdoms. And they love control. They want to control. They love tyranny. And they love killing you. They want to kill Americans. They hate Americans. These are the biggest racists. These are the biggest white supremacists. White supremacy is directly related to kingdoms and monarchies. And these people are the masters of racism. And they use their mastery of racism to orchestrate what is going on in America. Whether you know it or not, America, the great light to the world that all the other countries look to, has become presently the greatest enemy of the world. Most of the countries outside of America look at America as the greatest enemy. And the reason we look like that is not because we the people are good for the most part. We have a government that's a coup. It's not the American government anymore. They've taken over our government. They use our military to fight their wars. They use our tax dollars to fight those wars. And they take all the resources from the small little countries that they're always warring against. They just strip them of all their resources, and then they turn those countries into communistic dictatorships. That's their plan. That's what they do. They leverage the tax dollars that come from America, and they use it on their unpayable debt with the Federal Reserve System, which is the Communist Central Bank in America. And they take our money because we'll never be able to pay off that debt, and they use that money to gain more power. They use our military to take over countries. They fund communist groups here in America to bring up uprisings, upheaval, and to bring forth divide and conquer so that they can destroy us. The middle class has shrunk in America, and it's still shrinking. And they say now that the average middle class income in America is like $21,000. Do you know how ridiculous that is, my friends? They just keep lowering the bar. They keep lowering the bar on every front. In education, instead of America used to have the top education system in the world. Now we're in the bottom lower half. Okay, they've dumbed down America. Read the book by Charlotte Iserbyt called "The Deliberate Dumbing Down of America." It'll make you cry. It made me cry. I read it 3 times, and it made me cry every time. When you find out what these freaks, these literal freaks from hell, have planned for America. And you see it right in front of your eyes now, so there's no denying it. You know it. You got a Nobel Peace Prize winner, what was his name? The Pulitzer Prize winner, who just made a statement about all of this stuff recently in the news. It's public knowledge that the American government funds Al-Qaeda or ISIS. And they keep changing the name because they want to confuse Americans. And they're bringing us down, my friends. And if you don't start standing up, it's going to be all over. This call goes out to you, especially the Christians. we the Christians, I'm a Christian, we the Christians are the problem in America. We are the problem. These people are making a mockery of God in America. One nation under God, they are trying to turn into one nation under Satan. And we the Christians are just standing by, worshiping our God of comfort and doing nothing. Okay? Comfort has taken the #1 position on the majority of Christians' list. Comfort. They put comfort before God. You know, Jesus Christ on a cross, nailed to a cross, has nothing to do with comfort. And that is the greatest idol in America, the God of comfort. Okay? All we care about is our and our family's comfort before God. We will put comfort before anything. And we will not speak a word about what's going on because of our pride. We don't want to be looked at as being somebody who's on the fringe or a conspiracy theorist. But it's all pride, okay? I'm speaking the truth to you. It's pride that you don't do that. Because just like in Nazi Germany, you know, that old saying, they came for the one person, I was not that, so they didn't get me. Then they came for the next person, but I was not that, so they didn't get me. Then they came for the next person, but I was not that because I was not in that group. But then they finally came for me, and that's how it's going to be in America unless you stand up. The enemy that we're dealing with is Satan himself. This is a spiritual battle between God and Satan. And we all know that God is infinitely stronger than Satan. God could destroy Satan without even moving his hand. In fact, in Revelation it says when in the end times when Jesus Christ comes on the cloud, which you'll be able to see him from in the east and in the west, he will not even have to turn his head toward Satan. In fact, he will just kill him just by breathing. Okay, and it's not a testimony to him having bad breath. In other words, the power of God won't even have to lift a finger. He won't even have to think. He'll just be himself, and Satan will be destroyed by his presence. So there's no fight here. God could destroy Satan in a split second. He could bring down all the evil that's permeating in our country and the world presently. He could do it quickly, but he decides not to because it's a test. Okay, the Old and New Testaments, the root word is test. Testaments. We're being tested. Do we love God? Are we going to stand up for God? Or are we just going to fall for anything? Are we going to we're going to put the God of comfort as our true God and just let God be mocked in America and let him be mocked? Now, I'm not saying that you have to go out and, kill anybody or anything like that. I'm just saying stand up. Start doing something. Get off your cowardice couches. Write a blog, okay? Go to your city council meetings. Educate your neighbor. Educate yourself. Do something creative that expresses the truth. Put it out there online. Talk to people. Talk to your pastors. Talk to your priests. Tell them the truth. Get a group going at your church. Do something. Perhaps a group called Concerned Americans. That's a group that I'm going to be doing. Okay? Do something. There's all kinds of things you can do. When you're in your workplace and they want you to do something unconstitutionally, say, I'm not doing it. That's unconstitutional. Stand up. And get others who are of the same ilk as you, Christians and constitutionalists and patriots, to do the same thing. Form alliances in your community so that you have strength, so that if something does come, you have strength and you can stand. Okay? So there's strength in numbers, as you know. The enemy that we're dealing with is the type, Satan is such a coward. These people and their colleagues that form this oligarchy, that want to take over the world, they're all vying for true power, of having a new world order and being the king. Okay, the vast majority of them are Luciferians. That means they believe that Lucifer is the enlightened one. They call him the enlightened one. Most of these people are in secret societies like Bohemian Grove. They're in the Yale Order, Skull and Bones, Brotherhood of Death. George Bush is in the Yale Order, Skull and Bones, Brotherhood of Death. John Kerry is part of it, and various other politicians. They're in the Club of Rome. They're in the Anglo-Saxon establishment. They're in the Bilderbergs. They're in the Illuminati. These people, and most of those groups are all Satanists. They're Luciferian groups. These people have a different belief, thus their actions are different than yours and I's. When you believe in Satan, your goal is death. You want to kill people. These people want to kill you. They have a eugenicist agenda that is designed to kill you. They put poison in your food, poison in your water, poison in your air. There's chemtrails everywhere. In fact, just recently, one of the governmental groups admitted to spraying chemtrails in the air. Okay, that's just new news. I forgot the group that said it, so I'm not giving you the name of it, but just look it up online. You'll find out. Okay, these people want to kill you. They believe that you are lower than they are. They believe that you are lower life. They believe that they are more evolved than you. Most of these people believe in evolution. They don't believe in creation. They're the antichrist. They are the apostate. They are the new world order that wants to destroy everything good. They are Satan's servants. That's why I call them freaks from hell. That's what they are. It's not a bad word. That's what they are. They worship hell, and in this world, one nation under God, the true God, that is called the freak. When you worship evil, okay? You're a freak from hell. Okay, and they have so much blood on their hands, and they want to destroy you. They want to kill you because to them you're worthless. You're just like Hitler thought of people, as he illustrates in his book Mein Kampf. He had a hierarchy of humans. At the bottom of that hierarchy were Jewish people and black people. In the middle were Slavics. And at the very top of the hierarchy of evolved humans were the white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed Aryan race. Okay? And so he had a hierarchy of humans all the way from the evolved blonde-haired, blue-eyed Aryans to the animals. He called Jews animals, and that's why he killed them. He slaughtered them. Okay? And you guys, if you don't stand up, we're going to be in the same position. But the way that this enemy works is they use tools called gradualism. They gradually see what they can get. They test the waters on a daily basis. They put out new programs, new laws, and they see if the Americans will go for it. And when the Americans go for it, then they bring even a bigger law out. They take more control. They take more of your rights away. If you don't stand up, they're just going to keep taking your rights away. But the second you stand up, they back away. And that's why there's so many people out there. Well, there's nothing going on. There's nothing going on because they don't put their banner up. They don't come with their army. Okay, they're a Trojan horse. They do everything behind the scenes, okay, so that you don't see it, all right? That's exactly what they are, a Trojan horse. And so there's so many people out there, well, I don't see it, I don't see it. But meanwhile, they're working behind the scenes. And every step that they take forward in their tyranny, if they see that they can take it, then they secure themselves and they get ready for their next step. And just as long as Americans don't say anything, don't do anything, don't come together, they will just keep stepping forward. And before you know it, one nation under God is going to be one nation under Satan. And then we'll see how much you atheists are how much you hate the real God. Because when that happens, guess what? You're going down the tubes with the freaks from hell who have brought forth one nation under Satan. The only reason you live and have freedom is because we're a Christian nation. That's the only reason you atheists have freedom. Because the Christians stood up. They gave you this country. They came to this country for religious freedom. That's the only reason you have any kind of freedom. And the day is coming, if we Americans do not stand up and get off of our butts, get off of our cowardice couches and do something, your country's going to be taken. My friends, stand up. Do something. Stand up. Do something.